right, NAI football fans, this is Cory Thorpe back with another edition of the NAIF Ball Not Quite Live show, powered by AdCraft Custom Apparel and Merch, your custom apparel, merch, and uniform experts. Since 1974, they are the GOATs, the go-tos. They're the ones that you want to be working with to make your web stores and your team the best. I am Cory Thorpe. Again, we are having some internet issues, working with our folks here to get that remedied. But in the meantime, we will, we'll pre-record, and we'll do what we need to do. And since that's the case, let's get on to it. We got 3 games to talk about today that happened last week, 3 big ones to really kind of figure out who's who in the NAIA as we get into conference championship week. Thomas defeats Warner, who is, of course, without Madison Tingen, who is out possibly for the year with some knee issues. We'll just have to take it as we go with Tingen and see if she's able to return in time for Atlanta or if she's still going to be hobbled. But Thomas just absolutely, from the word go, was making sure Warner had no hopes there. The first play of the game from scrimmage is an interception, I believe, by Janae Scott, either that or by Giselle, number 18 there. I can't remember which one. There were 5 interceptions in the game, so forgive me. Janae Scott gets 2 of those, including a pick 6, a sack, and 5 pulls. Alexa Wilson was 15 of 19 for $180 and 3 touchdowns. That earned her Sun Conference Player of the Week. And Denisha Turner coming in off the bench. 6 receptions, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns for the newcomer for Thomas. We were watching out. We were seeing who would come off the bench for Thomas. Denisha Turner came off and impressed. On the Warner side, Andrea Rodriguez was only 4 of 15 for 25 yards and 3 interceptions. Gianna Hong had 3 receptions for 14 yards amongst all 3 quarterbacks. Cynthia Holmes only had 1 reception on the game for 11 yards, but she still made her presence felt on defense with 6 pulls and a pick. Ottawa takes care of business against Midland 23-6, and Ottawa is solid, if not unspectacular. Ottawa is consistent, if unspectacular here. Madison Carrera, 26 of 38, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Credit to the Midland defense keeping that going. Alyssa Linkus had 10 receptions for 39 yards, and Ottawa was only 27% on 3rd and 4th down conversions. The big deal here was that when Ottawa got into the red zone, they were able to score. They were able to do so while Midland was not. 0 of 1, only got in the red zone once, despite Michaela Nunez having 196 yards on 19 of 37 passing, touchdown, and 2 picks. Casey Thompson does a great job at the wide receiver spot with 7 receptions, 82 yards, more than 10 yards per reception. But the big one that we were all looking at, St. Thomas pulls yet another upset, this time of the Kaiser Seahawks, making Kaiser have 2 losses against teams named Ottawa and, a lot more losses than that. I think it's 4, 5. I think it's 5. I can count, I promise. 5 losses to teams with Thomas in the name. St. Thomas wins 20-7. Really, Holly Neer was very, very good. 18 of 32, 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kaylee Miller had a really great game. 7 receptions, 108 yards and a touchdown. And again, the game is won and lost by capitalizing on your opportunities in the red zone. St. Thomas was 2 of 3, getting most of their points there. Kaiser was not able to get it into the end zone. 1 of 4 in the red zone. Credited the St. Thomas defense. Did a great job with Jasmine Roden. Only a 50% day for Jazz. 3 interceptions. That's a very uncharacteristic Jasmine Roden performance. And congratulations to St. Thomas, possibly the hottest squad going into the postseason in the nation. So, you might be asking, does that impact our top 4? Not this week. We had already flip-flopped St. Thomas and Kaiser a week ago and hoped that St. Thomas would prove us right. They did. Ottawa's still number 1. They still haven't lost. They're still number 1. Thomas, their only loss is to that St. Thomas squad. So you're not going to hear me bash them too terribly much for that. And they might have a chance to redeem themselves here this next week. But we'll be back after a message from our friends at AdCraft.
So you want to create and sell custom merch for your team or business. That's exciting, but where do you begin? How much inventory should you order? How do you distribute orders? AdCraft has your answers. Streamline the way you offer custom merch by utilizing our free web store service. We ship directly to each customer, and we have the fastest turnaround in the game. Raise funds for your team or get merch to your employees and patrons. Contact AdCraft today, and let's bring your merch to life.
And they are very good at bringing your merch to life. They do a fantastic job of it. They're involved in their community. They're involved in the NAI. They are a great choice to partner with your school. Let's take a look at our players of the week, and one name is going to look very, very similar, and that is going to be Brianna Hernandez-Silva, winning the award for the second consecutive week, outperforming herself in most of the metrics this week. Had a really great set of games. Was 28 of 38 in 2 games, 73.7% passing, almost 4 bills, 10 passing touchdowns, and 14 attempts for 82 yards and a score. Just a fantastic set of games again from Brianna Hernandez-Silva. On the defensive side, we return to the South. Janae Scott, you knew it just as soon as I read the stats off. A pick 6, 2 interceptions, a sack, and 5 pulls. Janae was all over the field, also recording some snaps as a running back, as usual for Thomas. So, let's take a look at the fun stuff, the stuff that happens this week, and that is playoffs. That's right. It is time. It is time to look at brackets. Now, remember, in flag football, everybody makes the tournament, so really and truly, you're playing for seeding here. And so let's take a look at what that means and how it's going to shake out. First, in the KCAC, this set of games is going to happen on Friday and Saturday, with the championship game being played at Arrowhead Stadium. That's right. I'm so sorry, Sun Conference fans. Thomasville does not have a nearby football stadium near the quality of Arrowhead to play in. I apologize for that. Massive oversight. We'll get it fixed. Maybe. But all 6 teams from the KCAC make their playoffs, and they have not released a bracket yet, but looking at how they're going to play it, this has almost got to be how they've got to shake it out, with Ottawa and Kansas Wesleyan having first-round byes. Midland is at 3 with a record there of 12-4, 6-4 in conference. St. Mary is at 6 with a record of 1-10, 1-9 in conference, and Bethel is at 5 with a record of 1-8, 1-8 in conference. Cotty is sitting there right in the middle at number 4 with a record of 5-11 overall, but 4-6 in conference, and that is going to give them a 4 seed. I think it's probably going to be the highest seed Cotty's ever gotten. So Midland and St. Mary will play. Cotty and Bethel will play. We believe, again, this bracket has not been released, so we are giving it our best guess based on the conference standings that I have that I've put together and been putting together throughout the season. The winner of Midland and St. Mary will go on to play Ottawa, while the winner of Cotty and Bethel will go on to play Kansas Wesleyan. Those 4 teams will square off, giving us 2, and we will then crown a champion on Saturday. So how does the Sun shake out then? Well, the Sun is taking only 4 teams, so unfortunately Warner and Florida Memorial have been eliminated from Sun Conference postseason play here, and so we'll have the 4 of all shades of blue and green here, as Thomas will take on the Weber Warriors, and Kaiser will take on St. Thomas in a rematch. Man, if St. Thomas wants to prove that they are really the second, third best team in the nation, they've got it here to prove right here. You just got to beat Kaiser again for the second time in a week, and Thomas then for the second time in a month. You win the championship, you're definitely the number 2 seed. For Thomas, the game's at home, all of them. It's going to be a Friday, Saturday. You're going to see 3 games on Friday, and then 1 game on Saturday, if I remember correctly my schedule. And I say my schedule because you'll hear me on the call for the entire Sun Conference Championship tournament there. Let's pull up my schedule just to make sure that I'm telling you right. Yep, Thomas and Warner will play. Actually, we've got, yeah. Okay, so we got it right. So Thomas and Weber will play at high noon on Friday the 28th. Kaiser and St. Thomas get to play at 3 p.m. on Friday. And the winner of those 2 will face off in a high noon shootout on Saturday at the TU Soccer Complex in Thomasville, Georgia. Really looking forward to that, seeing how this goes here for all the teams. And then, man, it's time for me to name my champions. That's right. The folks who support us via Patreon, those are our real champions. They make sure that we are taken care of, and that is DSU Cone, Darren, Bob Boone, Roger Meyer, Jeremy Vobble, Shirley Labella, Fred Christensen, Alex Garcia, Jerry Quickle, Ace Wellen, Marty Seabolt, Justin Cobb, Nick Ryan, Hayden Ferrigno, Nathan Moore, Dale Norton, Tim Burrow, Julie Lout, Stephen Cutler, Nate Soapbeer, Julian Shager, Brian Shake, Steve Speakman, Justin Hoffman, Tyler Pierce, and Kyle Gregory. Thank you to the GOATs there. And as we get ever closer to Atlanta, we'll have a show next week. We'll go over what we think the seating is going to look like, and I'll make some predictions on what I think we'll see in Atlanta. But then we'll have a little bit of a break, and we'll get back into conventional football soon after that. But I am so thankful you stopped by the NAIF Ball Live show powered by AdCraft, and we will see y'all on the Twitter feed and hear y'all, hopefully, on Twitter telling me how bad my broadcasting is on Friday and Saturday. No, not really. It'll be fine. We'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.